My mother told me that she would disown me if I was gay when I was 7 years old. I was born in the 80s, during the HIV and AIDS crisis. There wasn't the internet that provided opportunities for learning, experiences. We weren't taught about what it meant to be gay in our schools, that we existed. We didn't have the resources. And I knew that if I ever told my mom that I was different, that I ought to be disowned. And you simply want to be loved. And I didn't know what I was. The thought that I could be outed at that time, knowing that my mother was uneducated, misinformed about what she saw on TV, that everyone had HIV and AIDS, that if I was outed, where would I go? What would I have done? Members of the LGBT community during this Pride Month, we live a charade of normality each and every day, and it is difficult to feel this pain and suffering every single time. And we're wearing suits to pretend that we are strong. The fact is that I am shaking and reliving this nightmare every single time, in which members of the public come in for 2 hours in committee telling us we are not normal. God hates us. We are different. We are less. And yet, we persevere. And I just hope that our experiences are recognized. This is not a partisan issue. This is about human dignity.
I rise today in strong support of AB 1955, Safety Act, which will protect our constituents against forced outing of LGBTQ+ students. As most of my colleagues may know, this issue is deeply personal to me, as I'm the proud mother of a transgender son. I recall when he, in high school, was just kind of figuring out what his life looked like, how he identified. He was outed to me by a teacher. And I kept that in my back pocket. I didn't go to him and immediately say, what is this? Why is your name changed? Why are you doing this? I let him be, and I waited till he came to me. But I was disappointed to hear it from that teacher and not yet from my son. And I thought about, like my colleague here, if my teacher had told my parents and what that would have looked like in my household. I don't know if I would have survived that day. While there are a few who wish to erase transgender individuals, I stand here today as a strong ally to reaffirm that all members of the LGBTQ+ community will not be erased. They will not be divided, and they will not be forced back into dark, hateful closets. Let us stand together as members of this body and say, we see you, we love you, and you are a part of our community.
As members of our community, we hope that the people who brought you into this world would be the people who are most willing to accept you. But that is often not the case. That is why this bill is so important. It allows members of our own community, particularly our students, to choose their own path to coming out. I didn't get to choose my path. It was chosen for me. But I cleared the way and made it easier for my two younger sisters to come out. But the decision of who to tell and when must be made by the individual, not by teachers or school officials without the consent of students.